Hello and welcome to Stephen's Creative Finance. It's been another great week in the market. I hope you've been having a good week too. First, I want to tell you, you got to tell yourself that you are a smart, competent, self-directed investor. I am going to be able to take my life by the bull horns, and I can and I will do the best for myself and my future and others around me. Because when you take charge and you do something over nothing, you are changing your life and the lives of all those who know you for the better. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid if things fluctuate. Variances happen. I'm trying to show a more practical and sound approach to where you don't even have to worry about that. I've made a new discovery this week that could change everything and make it a lot more solid. However, I'm going to test it first. So I started testing it last night, and I'm going to let it run for 7 days and see if everything actually pans out as it's described and listed. So in the meantime, you probably want to get your own self-directed investor journal going, where you're writing down all your concerns, all your questions, everything that you're dealing with, what scares you, how can I overcome it, how can I make myself be a better person in doing this. Well, doing nothing, we just all kind of like waste away. If you get involved, you'll start finding out you'll use your mind more. You'll start thinking about these assets more. You'll start thinking about where you want your future to be, and you can actually plan it. Because some of these assets have interest bearing on them, and it'll tell you when you buy it and you stake it, it'll come up with a page that tells you how long it takes to unstake, how long you have to wait until it pays out. Some of them pay out in 1 day, some pay out in 3, 5, 7, or a month. So depending on what the asset is, how frequently it's paying out the percentage rate, may help guide you into where to put your money to get it to grow up to the level that you want. So I think the top assets that you need to have in your wallet minimum is have a little bit of Bitcoin. You don't have to have a whole lot, just a little bit, just something over nothing, what you can afford. Then you want to have some Ethereum and stake it, Cosmos and stake it, Solana and stake it, Polkadot and stake it, Chainlink and Bonk. And to stake it, you just buy it, you tap on the asset after purchase, you scroll up on the screen, it'll say stake, you tap that stake, and it'll guide you through the process of staking it. And then once it's staked, you can go back, re-click on the asset, scroll up, and you'll see a primary balance, and underneath that it'll say staked balance and the percentage rate that it's earning. So I hope that that'll help you out there a little bit to overcome any fears you're having, because you should not be fearful. This is a fun and exciting time to get involved, really. And the reason why is because the whole entire crypto world is just getting started. That's what sets off some of the ups and the downs. That's why it's important to do your research. Whether you're looking at the Coinbase articles directly, going over to CoinDesk, looking at Bitcoin Magazine, or others that you may have, and seeing where these companies are going and how fast they're growing, because knowing when they're growing and how fast they're expected to grow will help you figure out when and where to plant your money with them so that you can capitalize on that growth in time. If you invest in some assets way too soon and their projection for growth is years away, you're going to have to wait a long time. And that's where I'm trying to do the research for you tighten up my profile to gains right here, right now. And some of the other longer term assets, well, we can get to those when the time gets closer to those actually going somewhere. Because you and I don't have Mark Cuban money to put $100,000 and get a long shot that moves by 1 or 2% to bring us instant wealth. We're on a longer trajectory in time for where we're going to plant our little bit. We're going to stay current with the assets that are moving right now, like I just shared with you, and we're going to get our profiles moving so that we can see growth today, right? And if not today, tomorrow. So that's the good thing. We're doing something over nothing, getting our money growing within a week. Unless you're investing in an asset that only pays out once a month, and you got to wait 30 days to see how that affects your profile. And you can also take notes on every asset you have, whether they're interest bearing or not. If they're not interest bearing, then it'll be at market price, and that's how it'll affect your profile, is how that market price is going up or down. But these that I've listed are worth riding the waves in the ocean for. And the ones with the interest rate, you can calculate how much you've got invested in there times the interest rate and see how much you're getting for what you've put in there, and look at that sheet of how often that particular asset's paying that out. So if it's paying it out every day, you're going to get it at some point every day, which can be based on the time of you investing. So if you make a late night investment, it's possible you got to wait till late night for the 24-hour timer to give it to your profile. If you do it early in the morning or mid-afternoon, that can set it off as well. So you can kind of set it up for your schedule of when to invest at the time that you plan to check your profile and see how everything is really running at its smoothest. So if that's in the morning time, you'll probably want to place your trades in the morning so that it's going around the clock and coming back to that time of morning and being there for you. Or the afternoon or the evening, whichever works best for you. You can totally have this on your terms and your conditions and your way. I also want to caution you not to believe a lot of lies out there that other people say, and they don't realize they tell you that they're doing nothing. Really, they're doing nothing. And one of those lies is, if it sounds too good to be true, it must not be a good thing to get into or true. And that's not true at all. It's in education, misinformation, a lack of willing to do the research and find out what the truth is about a particular asset. You actually need to do some research, and you need to read up on the companies behind them, and you need to see when they're paying out their rewards and their percentage rates, or whether they're just on the market by coin volatility alone. And you have to equate all of that into your profile so that you can, as your own profile manager, estimate out where you are, regardless of the market fluctuation. If you're in a percentage-based coin, then what you have staked, you can say, hey, the staked amount times the percentage rate equals this amount, and that amount is what you'll get on the frequency in which it pays out. And then you can times all that by 30 days for the month. I go with 30 days so that 31st day in some months, and 29 and 28 days in other months, and leap years and all that stuff kind of gets factored in there and gives you a buffer by not taking it out to the fullest potential, but backing it up conservatively to just saying, hey, let's just say every month has 30 days in it, and it'll balance out and get you close to what you want. And then you times that by 12 to get your yearly value of what those assets can collectively earn in your profile, totaling up your whole profile, and see what you have at the end of the year. And then when you start reaching your goals, you want to keep that first full year's of gains in there. I suggest taking it out 3 years before you would pull anything out of it. So that way you still have a stable base in your account that'll keep earning and keep growing at the initial rate until you would add more to change the values. So be your own self-confident, self-directed investor. Don't be afraid of it. That's why I'm on Coinbase, encouraging you to be also, so that you can insure your account against all fears and worries of it being lost or hacked or any of those concerns. Coinbase says, hey, it happens. Contact us and we will give you your money back. So that's a good thing in my eyes. It's the closest thing I found to a guarantee. So until next week, and I give you the results of my financial testing, I hope you have a great and wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.